Hey Julie, Jessica Peterson here with Peterson SEO. I spoke with Edith earlier and she thought you would definitely want to check out this video. I'm super excited she accepted this on your behalf because today I'm going to walk you through a few strategies you can start applying right away, and it's going to make a huge impact in your business. And I know that it will because we've applied these same strategies with over 50 other restoration and abatement companies just like you guys throughout the US, and it's made a huge impact in their business. Now, right now, you guys get about 11 people on average to your website organically per month. Organically meaning searching for services, not plugging in your actual website address, okay? So organically finding you guys online. Now, so that means you're missing out on like 80% of the available jobs every single month by just not having these strategies fully deployed yet, okay? So today we're going to talk about your content, your citations, and your backlinks. All right, so we are here on your website. You do have a good looking website. Your website is secured, which is awesome. So important. Now, when it comes to websites and it comes to ranking online and helping your customers find you online, content is key. So we do need a lot of content, and that includes having separate pages for all of your major services. For the most part, you kind of have that. You have these generalized pages for these services. So you have part of that, but this really needs to be broken down further in order to actually capture each of those services. And so I know you guys do restoration, abatement, and hazmat. It looks like kind of the focus of the website are based on how this website is set up. To me, it looks like the abatement, maybe asbestos, and some of those might be your top services. And so for the purpose of this video, I'm going to focus on abatement, but the same principles apply to all of these services, okay? So now, having separate pages for each of the major services is something Google wants to see because it allows you to hyper focus one page on one specific service, talk about what it is, how your service works, answering the most common questions people have, really becoming an authority on that topic, having content built around that and around those local keywords is really going to be critical for you guys here. Now, I know you guys service several different areas. So if Tucson is your home base, your home page and service pages need to be based on Tucson. And then you can have separate pages for your service areas where you can talk about each of these services and focus on the keywords for those services in each of those areas. And so it looks like you have a Tucson, Phoenix, New Mexico, and Texas page. The website structure here, the navigation structure isn't great. So this is going to be extremely confusing to Google, especially under About Us, having these service pages for those locations. It's not a good placement. It's going to be confusing in Google's crawlers. So having really good navigation that's easy for your customers to understand means it's also easier for Google to understand, okay? Now, when we talk about content, you do need a lot of content, okay? This home page is the most important page of the entire site because it's supposed to tie all these services together. And so having many summaries of each of these services and interlinking to those pages is good. But we want to make sure that we're focusing on those local keywords. So as I said, if you're based out of Tucson, you're going to want these to be Tucson keywords. So Tucson asbestos abatement, asbestos removal Tucson, okay? We have to focus on those local keywords because 90% of people that are searching based on the services they need. They're not searching for your company's name. And so you're missing out on those searches by not focusing or having a local keyword strategy. Now, this homepage also needs at least 1,500 words or more of content. The more content you have, the better, but we need more than our competitors have. Now, this looks like a list of these services that you guys offer, but optimally, if I was in your shoes, I would have a separate website page for each of these services under each of these categories. Okay, that's going to help you fill content gaps, focus on keywords and long tail keywords in areas that your competitors may not even be doing. So it just opens up a whole lot of opportunity for you guys in each of your service areas for these services. So content is really key here. Google is sending crawlers to your website that go and scan all the pages. They scan through all of this content, every single image or video on your site, to try and understand who you guys are, what type of services are you offering, and where are you performing those services at. And so when it doesn't have the proper content, the right content structure or keywords, Google doesn't have a good understanding of what it is you do. And if Google doesn't understand, we can't possibly expect them to push customers to your website, right? Okay. So now if we look at your top competitor for asbestos in Tucson, okay? Again, we would have to do the same strategy for each service in each area you serve. But using asbestos, your top competitor is this HCE Environmental. Not a fabulous website, but they do have their pages broken out more based on what they do. These guys only do mold and asbestos, but they do have separate pages for each of those things. We can see that they are focusing on both state and local keywords. Focus on Tucson here. And they just have a little bit more content. Not a whole lot. Each of these here take them to additional pages. But they just have a lot. They don't have a lot, but they have a lot more than you guys have on the page, okay? So in order to beat your competition, we always have to do better. So that's more content. If your competitors have 1,500 words, you want 1,800 or 2,000 words on a page. You want more long-form blogs, more pages, etc. All of those things are going to put you in a good position to be able to outrank your competition in all of your service areas. Now, as we know, your customers, they're going to do a search similar to this, okay? And when they do, there's three main areas that your business has the opportunity to be in good position in, meaning being at the top of those results. So the first are generally going to be ads like this, which would be your cost per click ads and even local service ads. And this can be really profitable if that's what you want to do, as long as you have everything dialed in really well, your processes are dialed in, you have proper landing pages built. Without that, you're not going to get a good ROI. The second section here, this is your Google Business Profile, Google Map Pack. You want to be in this top 3 here of the map pack because 30% of people skip everything else and they come straight here. So when you're not listed here, you're leaving money on the table and sending your customers to your competitors. So in order for your business to show up here, It all comes down to how well is this profile being optimized. And so you're going to have to optimize that profile and get more citations. You need more citations than your competition has. And citations is simply just listing the name of the business, address, phone number, and website, and putting those in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau, Glassdoor, Angie's, House, and Home Advisor. Even the social media profiles are also citations. So just having more of those than your competition is going to give you a good boost. And then this third section here is the most important section because 60 to 70% of people, they skip everything else. They'll skip the ads, they'll skip the maps, and they come right here into the organic search. Okay, so when your website isn't listed here, you're losing 60 to 70% of the available jobs by not having your website show up here. So in order for your website to show up here, it all comes back to the foundation of this website. Do you have it built out properly? Do you have the right type of content and keyword strategy? And then are you supporting that with a backlink SEO strategy? So this here is Ahrefs, a paid tool that we use to show how your website is performing. We can see you have a rating of a 4.5 for your website as a whole, out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow. So this says Google doesn't trust your website, and that does have to do with the quality of your site, but more so it has to do with the power you're sending to it. Your website is a tool, and like most tools we use, they do require power. And so we power websites with backlinks. And backlinks are simply just links coming from another website to your website. And so we need a lot of those links. But it's important to understand that not all are created equal. We don't want just any random links. We want good quality do follow links that are closely related to the services you're offering. So oftentimes these are going to come from other home service business websites, vendors, directories, etc. Okay? The fact that you have over 400 links with only 97 referring domains tells us that most of these links are pretty spammy. So we want to get the good quality links and get more of them than your competition. Now, because you don't have a lot of actual written content or keyword structure, you've only been indexed for 2 keywords, and you're only getting 11 people organically to your website per month. When we look at the keywords, it's actually only for your brand. And as important as your brand is, that's only about 10% of people that search. So you're missing out on over 90% by not having that keyword strategy dialed in. Okay. Now, when we look at your competition, they have even a lower rating of 1.9 with 100 backlinks. So obviously very beatable here, you guys. Just have to do better quality backlinks. They have been indexed for more keywords because they do have a little bit more content. They do have a little bit more keyword structure. And so they're getting twice the traffic you are. Again, not a whole lot here. So this is all very, very beatable. Now, if we look at their keywords, there's 10 spots per page on Google. And so they are actually ranking for a few of these keywords here. And the higher you rank here, the more of the potential traffic you can get, with the highest being about 37 to 40% of the available traffic. So you got tons of potential here. Very easy to beat these competitors. You just have to do better and follow these tips I've shown you. So please feel free to take this information, run with it, apply it yourself. But if you'd rather have a partner in this is our specialty. And we specialize in working with companies just like you guys. So please feel free to reach out, give us a call, reply to our email, and we'd be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.